Texans can go from 5-3 1 week to just 3 weeks later, 5-6 with 3 heartbreaking losses, depending on what happens this weekend with Indianapolis. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, NFL.com's Pat Kirwan. Glad to be with you on the NFL Preview Show, presented by Tyson Anytizers. And Pat, you used to be in a front office for a decade. How difficult is it for a team that is trying to get over the hump and have its first winning season to go through back-to-back games against the Colts and against the Titans, where you lose because you don't make a field goal at the end of the game?
That's very tough, but it's part of football, and we talked about them early in the year, and I remember back in September you asked me, do I think they're a playoff contender, and I said, in another division they might be, but not in this division. I think the division is starting to haunt them once again, but there's a deeper story here, and I know the field goals are the direct reason they lost, but if you really study this team, since they lost Owen Daniels, they haven't won a game, and what happens when that happens? You can really take your time on Andre Johnson.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it, too. And in this ball game, you got Andre Johnson, and he's going up against some corners. So, yes, we always talk about the Colts secondary is banged up. But in the red zone, that Colts defense tightened up last week. They did not allow a touchdown to the Ravens. 6 field goal attempts. That was it. And if you're only going to score 15 points, Peyton Manning's going to beat you every time.
That's true. And go back and look at what happens with Andre Johnson now and where the problems could be. He was targeted last week 11 times, but he only got 4 receptions. And you go back and look at the first game, he caught 10 balls against the Colts, but he only averaged like 10 yards a catch. He didn't score a touchdown. They're keeping him in front of them and then making plays on the ball. And that middle linebacker, he reads the pass as good as any middle linebacker in the league right now. So you try to work the inside pass game, get ready for Gary Bracken.
All right, Pat, talk about the Colts here, because there's 2 ways to look at things. The last 4 games have all been decided by 3 points or less and been, for the most part, against good football teams. I think we'd say the Texans are a good football. They're not a great football team, but they're a good football team. Obviously, the Patriots and the Ravens and then the 49ers are in there as well. But 4 straight games by 3 points or less. 2 ways to look at that. They're not playing as well, or they're just that good that they can win close football games?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. I think they've got a lot of injuries, and those injuries are starting to surface where there's more and more pressure. Peyton threw more balls against the Houston Texans, kind of like the Palmer story, more balls against those Houston Texans than any team all year. 50 pass attempts the first time, and I think we're going to see more of the same, because that's what they are now. They're just a passing team. If they get a little run game going at the end, fine, but that's not what they're going to do. He can beat these guys again. He knows how to beat them. He's got their numbers so bad. But that's the kind of team. That's why I don't think they're the best team in the National Football League. I would make a case they may not be the best team in the AFC. And if I asked you if they were playing the Patriots right now, I would be taking the Patriots, and I have a feeling I could talk you into the Patriots.
Probably, and I have a feeling we may see that again in the postseason. You said that they have the Texans' number so badly, and that's true. 1 win in Houston's franchise history against Indianapolis. They have to have this football game. They have to have a bounce-back win. Do they get it?
No, they don't get it. Because the Colts, they like what they're doing. They want to dominate everybody. They want to be at home for sure. It looks like they're going to get home field anyway, but that's not how Peyton Manning operates. This guy is totally into every game preparation. Too bad, Houston. You've lost 2 games on the field goals. They'll come back in the offseason. You'll be thinking about them, but I don't think it's going to be by a field goal this time. I think they're going to lose by more than that.
All right, it's on CBS. It's on Sunday, and it should be a great game. For more on it, stay with CBSSports.com. That'll do it for the NFL Preview Show, presented by Tyson Anytizers, the meaty Good Man Snack. For Pat Kirwan, I'm Jason Horowitz. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Take care, folks.